What's up YouTube, welcome back to WackedOUT ECIG. Today I'm reviewing DEBOSCH e-liquid out of Canada. If you couldn't tell by that intro, these liquids and this whole company's marketing, everything about it is fancy as fuck. It's kind of very cologne styled. I get a Hugo Boss kind of feel out of it, but that's the box, silver box. You open it up, you get smaller boxes that really look like cologne boxes, and then even the bottles inside look like a bottle of cologne. It's pretty crazy. I thought about it for a while if that could be a potential hazard, like people thinking it's cologne, but no one drinks their cologne, and if you were to put this on your body, you might get a little bit of a nick hit, I guess, eventually once it seeps through your skin, but it'll probably just make you smell pretty good. So like I always say, the marketing can only get you so far. Let's talk about the flavors, and the first one I'm going to look at is called, all the bottles look the same, this one is called Gold Cutie, and it's a delectable blend of rich and creamy vanilla with a hint of cinnamon for that perfect balance. Our tribute to the delicious and popular drink horchata. I know what that tastes like. I'm not the best person to ask about it, but I kind of know what it tastes like, and this kind of gets it. I definitely get what they say in the start, which is creamy vanilla and cinnamon. The cinnamon is the main thing I'm getting out of this, but the vanilla does help to kind of cream the whole thing over. I really like this one, but it's probably the strongest out of the three as flavor wise, just because there's so much vanilla, so much cinnamon. I don't know if this is an all-day vape, but I guess if you can vape it enough to get over the cinnamon, or if you really like cinnamon, you will like that, but you have to like the natural cinnamon. It's not really like a cinnamon Red Hearts kind of candy-like flavor. It's pretty good. The throat hit is nice. I have 6 milligram in all these, and yes, I'm dripping them. 30 mils in these square bottles, and then 70-30 mix, 70 VG, 30 PG. So thick enough that you can drip them comfortably, but thin enough that they should wick properly in most of your tanks. This next flavor is pretty interesting. It's called Aroma, and they describe it as satisfy your senses with a refreshingly smooth sweetened vanilla chased with a hint of aromatic chai. If you've ever had chai, you would expect that to be the strongest flavor of all vaping, and for the most part it is. When I have tried chai vapes in the past, they've been the only thing you can taste for a long time, even after vaping. It's a strong flavor, but I like this one because the chai is not too strong. They've maybe put in a little bit and it's just kind of amplified by the sweetness coming with it, but I really like this one. Chai, if you don't know what it is, has a bit of a spicy taste to it, and it's really hard to describe what it tastes like if you haven't had it before. But the spiciness doesn't come through as much on this. It kind of comes through with the same kind of mouthfeel that you get from vaping a soda flavor. It's really strange, but there's a bit of tingle on your tongue from it. This is a really good flavor. I think a chai vape would never be my all-day vape, but I could make this an all-day vape for the simple fact that there's not too much chai. This last flavor is probably the most complex flavor out of the three. It has the most going on. How they describe it is a savory blend of creamy liqueur topped with caramel accented with brown sugar and notes of toasted almond. That sounds really good. What may sound good to me may not sound good to you, but to me it sounds really good. And I would expect it to taste very overpowering. I would expect it to have a bit too much going on, but it's actually my favorite flavor out of all of them, and it's really nice in a tank. I find all these are really good in a tank. If you only use drippers, maybe like a Narda or something with restricted airflow that you can get that condense vape out of, but you're not kind of flooded with too much flavor. What I'm using now is probably not the best to vape them out of, but I've already been vaping them in various things, so I know exactly what they taste like. The main thing I actually get out of this is the caramel and the liqueur. The liqueur is not kind of, it doesn't taste like rum or brandy really or anything. It's just kind of there, and it gives you that texture. If you've ever vaped alcohol-based vapes, not that there's actual alcohol in it, but the flavor, it definitely has that going on. But then there's a type of dryness, but like a dry sweetness, similar to like a dark chocolate thing, but instead it's the brown sugar and toasted almond, and that comes through really well. As a flavor by itself, toasted almond with brown sugar is really good, but just adding in that other flavor of the liqueur and the caramel, it kind of all blends together really nice, and that's why it's my favorite. I liked cinnamon for the horchata one, but it's just all day cinnamon gets too much for me, and I like the flavor of chai, but all day again it gets a bit too much for me. So this one, all the flavors I can kind of deal with all day, and I think the savory aspect really brings this one to the front for me. Either way, all three are really good liquids. I was pretty surprised when I got them because this is a Canadian company. I'd never heard of them. But they've been sending out reviews for quite a while now for other people, and I got my hands on them, been vaping them for a while. It's been about a month I think since I've had them, and I've tried not to kill them in the time while I was finding to do a review, so I'm happy I got them. The only problem is the price is pretty high. According to the website that you can buy these liquids from, there's only one website, and it's called premiumejuicesamples.com. That's the exclusive distributor. So I'll put the links in the description if you want to check them out on their website, but on that website they're $22.99. I'm assuming that's Canadian dollars since it's a Canadian liquid. If that's the case, people in America, you might not see it as that bad of a price once you do the exchange currency rate. But in Canada, $23 for a bottle of e-liquid, it's difficult to say whether that's good or not, because I would class this liquid on the level of, say, like maybe 5 pounds in the types of flavors they do. They're kind of unique, but still flavorful, not overly thick, not made for cloud chasing. They're kind of in that range, but 5 pounds, at least in the shop where I work, is like $30-something. So the fact that you can get something similar for $23 instead, and it's made in Canada, you're supporting Canadians, I think it's a good thing, and we'll see where it goes from there. So yeah, links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.